Hey guys, welcome back to the Gender Equality Podcast. What you say? Woo! I'm your host, Grace Sikity, pronouns she, her,
I'm your host, Yunis, pronouns they, them.
and we are with our fellow guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Jed.
Woo! Just before we start the podcast, I want to give a very strong trigger warning as we are going to be talking about body image and everything about it. So if you don't feel comfortable listening to this podcast, that is perfectly fine, guys. You know, it's a very hard topic to talk about. So shall we start with it? So guys,
Yeah.
the minute you hear body image, what do you think about immediately? Straight off the top of your head. Go.
Put me on the spot. I think about body image. I think it has to do with like beauty standards and how people may compare themselves to like other people online and stuff like that. That's probably like the first thing that comes to my head.
I think one of the first things I think of is probably social media. Just like everyone's like, I don't even know.
Like everyone's kind of like judging each other, like
yes,
how they all look and things like that.
I feel like it is sort of it's become like the platform to sort of I didn't prepare for this.
No, it's okay. You can take your time.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
literally perfectly fine.
I feel like it's almost like a competition. Like everyone's just trying to look. Like everyone's just trying to achieve impossible.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like with body image, and especially like there's all different types of bodies. I feel like I was discussing with my friend Millie and Tyla. Shout them up. And how with each type of body that exists in this world, there's always the ideal body of it. So like you can talk about like very skinny people and like, okay, you should look like this for this image to fit that category. Or with plus size people, there would be this specific image that needs to fit in this category for people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, as much as they'll try to appreciate, like going back to media, as much as they're trying to appreciate different bodies, they'll always have this ideal image for bodies.
Yeah.
That's what I think personally for me when I think about media. Do you think with media, is it like shown as a negative or is it a positive or is it like, because everyone else's media, like the whole explore page can be different from each other. We can all have different things on like our Instagram,
You and
TikTok.
Grace and I have the exact same TikTok. We send each other TikToks we've already seen.
I feel,
yeah.
I feel like it's just not even talked about at all.
Oh, really?
Like especially with I feel like with men.
Men.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like it doesn't even exist in that realm, I guess.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even hear it.
No, I agree. I feel like I haven't heard the perspective of men and along with the body image at all. I've only heard like women like side of it. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I feel like women are a lot more open when it comes to discussing things.
Yeah.
Which, not stereotyping.
Yeah.
But like I think that's a positive thing. But just with men, nothing. Just
so would you say like it's very hard to talk about the issue?
Yeah, I feel like it's I feel like that I feel like it just relates back to toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And that just sort of thing of like, if you've got any issues at all, you just gotta shut
it down. Yeah.
Just keep it to yourself. But whereas with women, I feel like, not always of course, but I feel like women can always go to each other and talk to each other about any issues regards themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you see how for you, I feel like, as well as, just a heads up guys, this was his topic, just want you to know we did not come up with this. Seeing how you want to talk about body image, would you say like, how did you find a way to be easily to talk about it? You know, because how you said that with toxic masculinity, you weren't able to really talk about it to other people.
If I'm being really honest, this is the first time I've ever talked about it at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, comfort space, guys. Oh my gosh, it's a safe space.
Yeah, I feel like because I feel like it's one of those things that does relate back to gender as well. Like I said earlier with how men just don't talk about it at all. I feel like with a lot of my personal issues, it's always just gone back to the way I've looked.
Yeah.
And I feel like body image isn't just the shape of your body, it's your skin, it's your hair. It's just everything, that how you feel about every aspect of your body. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, especially, I feel like majority of the time, the minute I think about body image, I instantly only think about your body. So I like how you added the fact that you think about your skin and like how it looks and things like that, because like a lot of the time in media, people have to have like the luscious, clear, gloss skin. Like, and it's just like, okay, guys, let's calm down. Like, it makes it as if we need to be like superheroes and like we're amazing and great at everything when really we're not. And we should create this natural, like, human place for us in the media. But is there anything else anyone wants to add for media and the traits and good and bad representation?
Yeah, I think with social media, it really depends what you are like consuming. Like you were saying, everyone's like explore page or like For You page might be different. Like some people's algorithms might be showing them things that are like harmful for them to see.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of videos of people saying like if you follow someone just because of the way they look or because you want to look like them, you should unfollow them.
Yeah.
Because it's not good for your mental health to be like ingesting that every time you open your phone. But then again, you could be seeing content like on my TikTok, I think I get really positive content of like body positivity and stuff like that. Don't know how I've done that. Love that for me. Love that for me. But yeah, I don't want to be one of those people that's like social media is like really bad.
Oh my gosh,
and it's ruining everything. And like back in my day when there was no social media, like we're all great. But at the same time, guys, that's having a good time. Like you said, with every body type, there is still a standard. Like with plus size models, it's like, oh, you have to be a pear shape, or you need to be an hourglass, or you need to be this, or like if you're, you know, a man, you need to be like tall and slender, or you need to be like muscly or stuff like that. There's always still, in every type of body, there's always still like the standard.
I recently literally saw like the other day about a model who came out like recently and started discussing her experience in like the modeling industry.
Yeah.
And she's a plus size model, but she's like not plus, like just not.
I know who you're
that.
talking about.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Like, and she like reveals that she wears like was it like padding and all that sort of stuff like underneath whatever she's wearing to make herself plus size. So they're not like, even the modeling. I mean, the modeling industry isn't great to begin with, but like even with things that are supposed to be like representing other people and trying to be inclusive, it's not even like those people. It's it's like it's not even real.
Yeah, I don't understand what's the point of that. Like, why would you do? It's not like hard to find people who have that body type. So it's like, why like get someone to wear padding and stuff like to fit that? It's just so weird.
I feel like to add on to as you talk about the modeling industry, especially with the modeling industry, it's so weird. It's like, oh, you have to look like this or you've got to look like that. And then when they try to put in plus size models, they're like, you don't fit the standards like you've just said. And it's just like, what is the standards? Why is one already a standard for me? Like, it should just accept all people and things like that. And it's like, with modeling, even modeling as like the top of like body images, you could also go back to like people doing dance. Ballet, guys. Oh my gosh. God. I love ballet. I think ballet is beautiful. No, I was young, I used to think it was beautiful, but now I hate it because it's like there's this large image of it and it's like, oh, you need to be this skinny, you need to look like that. I was talking to one of my friends and they were like, oh, I was doing ballet when I was 5, but then I had to stop at that age because they told me that, what's it called? I didn't fit the size category for it.
You're 5.
You're 5.
You're
5.
You're actually 5.
One, you don't even know what's happening.
What year are you in?
You don't even know what's happening. You're just waiting to go get McDonald's and your little Happy Meal.
You're like year 1.
You're literally like year 1.
Like, you're not even like in like your 3rd time going into year 2. You're in year 1.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like,
that's
sorry, lad.
That's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And the amount of pain that like ballet have you seen their feet? Sorry, TW feet. Guys, I hate feet, but their feet is mad. It's mad.
Oh, you've been looking up their feet. What do you mean their feet is mad?
Because like basically, no, you need to deep that. You see the shoe, right?
It's their posture, innit?
The shoe, and then the shoe has like some wood thing.
Yeah, and then they just have to
point, like, you know how they all go on their tippy toes.
Audio listeners were trying to replicate what they're doing. Trying to replicate the feet with our hands.
They go on their little points, isn't it? And then the stumps.
The stumps.
Thank you. The stumps, isn't it?
Shower production.
Shower production. Do you know how mad that is? And then like their big toe is like a bit crooked. But
honestly, like, were you looking at like diagrams?
guys, I went through like a ballet phase where I wanted to be a ballerina, but that's not what this episode's about. The body image in ballet is just pretty mad because it's just like they can't be themselves, or there'll be like there's so many like TikTokers that I used to watch who are like, yeah, I used to do ballet, but my teacher told me I was too fat.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, my teacher
went up to me and said, Donnie, no, you can't make the cut. What are you talking about? I can't simply do dance. Like, what are you on about? That just doesn't make sense into my head.
Yeah, the dance and modeling, they're like they're so hard because like you're literally working with your body. So they control like, well, not like every agency, but I've heard like horror stories of like agencies controlling what people eat, like tracking their weight and like their diet and stuff. And it's just like, it's just so crazy. Like, even when you see modeling companies try to be more inclusive, like recently people talk about Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
If Victoria's Secret does like oh look, we're diverse, no one's gonna believe them because they're like, come on, like no, like no one, like they're too far gone. They can't like rebrand themselves. It's like, oh look guys, we're inclusive, we accept all body types. Like no, I saw like a video recently, a model who either still works at Fashion Nova or used to work at Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about standards for body types that are not just like slim. And I don't know if you've seen Fashion Nova models, but they all have like this like very extreme
pear
like
shape.
hourglass, like BBLs, like that's like kind of like what Fashion Nova goes for.
Yeah.
And the models there, like there's this one model, you've probably seen her like most of Fashion Nova stuff, and she's been talking about how she's not had a great time working there. She's like been waiting for them to release her from her
shackles.
Shackles, like her contract, and it's just like, it's just wild.
See, like since we're talking about like media, would you say, and like how it does affect with body image, would you say like, okay, you don't have to talk about it if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, but your friends around you, your family can also add into like body image.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like about that, like how there'll be things like I've read some things. Oh, my friend was talking to me about this, and it would be like, okay, let's say someone who's plus size says, "Oh, I want to lose weight," and then a friend is like, "Oh no, you're beautiful the way you are," and it's like it's feeding into how the person, just them wanting to lose weight doesn't imply that they don't feel beautiful within them. It's just they just happen to want to lose weight, just simply like that, you know. So does anyone want to add anything about that? Or
I feel like with like friends and family, they have like, I have been like reassured a few times, like, oh yeah, you're just fine with the way you are, but like there have been times where like I've just not even listened to that and just told myself that I'm not like good in any way with the way I look. Yeah.
I feel like for me personally, a lot of things that happen with me is just that a lot of people will call me very skinny and things like that, and I'm like, oh, stop that, I don't like that, right? And then it will like feed into me like, oh my gosh, am I skinny? Is this okay? Or like, am I eating or am I not eating enough? And like things like that. And especially like an in particular person in my family, because they know my shout out to my siblings who are watching this right now. But an in particular person that says it in my family will continue to tell me that I look very skinny, you know, and it will make me look at my body image and be like, oh my gosh, am I really that skinny? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that doesn't look too good. And it's like, oh, how are you supposed to be? You're my family member. You should be supporting me. You should be allowing me to be like, grow myself, become like my true self, you know? And then you're telling me this, and then I'm like, whoa, dude, like that's not
you're like
good
a seed,
energy.
and they're meant to be like watering you, but then they're just like stepping on you. They're just like
seed.
Like this, even like the smallest of comments can like set you back just so far.
And especially if it's like from people who are so close to you, you're just like thinking back, because it's like the people who not know you the best, but like know you in some sort of way, who are quite close to you. So then it's like when they're saying that to you, you reflect on yourself and you're just like, oh my gosh, am I said thing? You know?
Especially when you're like really young, because as you grow older, people might tell you, oh, you look good and stuff like that. But when you're like really young, like 5, and your teacher's telling you can't do ballet because you're too fat. And like when you're like really young and like really impressionable, those stuff like stick with you, and it becomes like your subconscious. And it becomes like what you're telling yourself. Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, especially my thing is that, okay, I'm not saying I hate school. No, not at all. Maybe I do.
Love LSA.
Love LSA. Shout out LSA. Shout out London Sikity Academy. Anyway, but when I talk about school, it's like school is such an important foundation of your life, and it's like you're there for a long time. If you're in the UK, you're here for 18 years. Not 18. You can come to school like 5. You can
go off. You can go off like at 16.
You're lying. You're lying.
For an apprenticeship.
You're lying. For an apprenticeship. Okay, yeah. I was about to be like, I would have cut time. You're lying.
You used to be able to leave one.
You used to. It's a used to thing, but not a now. Further education.
Dead.
Okay. But yeah, like with school's like such a strong foundation in your life. So it's like, okay, if my teacher, like you said, right, if my teacher's telling me, oh, I don't look like this, or I should look like da-da-da-da, and you can't be doing this, then it's like, whoa, Donnie, like I said before, it's reflecting on yourself, because it's like, these are the people around me, these are the people like surrounding me throughout my whole foundation.
To support you.
They're supposed to support you in all things that you do. Exactly. So it's just like,
I think it's different family backgrounds as well. Yeah. Because I think certain like family dynamics are a lot more, they just say things that they shouldn't be saying. Yeah. Like they just comment on things that you shouldn't, like in different family dynamics, it's just things that they don't talk about. Whereas I feel like, for example, like my family, they're very like, they just be saying things. And it's like, dang. Calm down. I haven't seen you in like 5 years. Slow down. Like, I also have a particular person in my my antagonist. Antagonist. And like when I was growing up, said antagonist would like comment on my weight. When I was growing up, I didn't care about like what I looked like or anything. But this person was like commenting on my weight and stuff, and like just doing very like you're doing a bit too much. No shout out. You're doing a bit too much. And they were just like, and then making me to feel like self-conscious about myself. I tried to speak to them like probably recently, and I was like, you shouldn't have been doing that, like real things. That was not appropriate. They were like, that's just like the way I was raised. And I was just basically telling me that they were trying to prepare me for life. Basically like I'm going to bully you so no one can bully you type of thing. And I was like, bestie, you are my only bully. So I think different like families, they feel more comfortable saying those things. They don't understand the impact it might have on you. And then when you're older and you have like low self-esteem, they'll be like, why do you have low self-esteem? You're so beautiful. And you're like, but you told me that thing when I was like 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can't, why are you backtracking? Yeah. Stick to the script. That's what you said before.
Jed, do you have in particular antagonist?
Oh yeah, a few.
A list.
Yeah. I'll just go get it real quick. I feel like with the way you look at yourself and the way you have like, and the way you see your body can like starts, well for me at least, it started very young.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like that sort of thing where you're just like looking at yourself in the mirror all the time and just like looking at every little thing of like what's wrong with you and that sort of thing. And I feel like, I mean, if I'm being honest, it still hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
But I think we've just got to be more open and like talk about these things, because like, who is perfect?
Exactly. I feel like the more we address it, it makes it something more normal to talk about and more normal to accept every, like, in particular, like, imperfect thing that you have towards yourself. Like, you see how you spoke about how you used to, like, look at yourself, like, in the mirror a lot, and you'd be like, oh, like, for me, it would be that I wouldn't look in the mirror enough, and then I would, like, I wouldn't have this idea of what I look like. Only recently, I have this image of what I look like.
Are we the same person?
Can we? Oh my baby.
Are we the same? Is it like a mirror here? Or
I think
Kimi, did you do this? Is this a VFX? Like, what's going on?
I think there'd be times as well. I think I went through a time where I just wouldn't even look at myself at all. I would just avoid. I was like, I'm so sick and tired of looking at myself.
Really?
And just like, I just got so disgusted with myself. And certain antagonists.
Certain antagonists
Particular
playing a
antagonists.
part.
I feel like they are the ones who like push that idea onto you, and then you just like swallow that idea.
And I feel like it's like the thing is, it's like, okay, for my particular antagonist, it's like, I'm gonna say they, so no one knows in my family. They wouldn't know. So like, okay, let's say there'll be a time where I'm not eating as much as normal. They wouldn't like, they would notice it and they wouldn't try to attempt to help me out and be like, oh, Grace, you should come try this food. I'm making this right now, Oh my gosh, I tried this new recipe, you can try this, da 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 da. They would just immediately be like, yo, you're skinny, That's pretty mad. Don't like skinny people. You need to munch up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got home from school. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, because I feel like because we don't talk about it enough, and as well as talking about backgrounds, and because other backgrounds don't talk about it enough, they are unaware of how to address said issue. Because as Ray said, as well as I did, I spoke to my antagonist and I told them, and I was like, not gonna lie, bestie, this isn't the best way to talk to me about things like this, because it's really not good and it's not helping me as a person. And then they just didn't know how to react to it, because it was like something not new to them to listen to, but it was like something that they didn't know how to address to, because it's like they've never been taught about it, they've never been spoken about it to. And I feel like just came into my head just now. In school, they should talk about like body image and things like that, and not in like I'm not saying talking about body image is an annoying way, but in a way that's like more comforting, and it's like, okay, let's address this issue, and how can we talk to other people about it and make them feel better about themselves, or how to at least make a comfort space for someone, because as all of us has addressed that, okay, we can feel comfortable in different places, but then when we're in this in particular place where our in particular antagonist is, we are unable to actually feel safe in that place. And I've just been told by Kimi I need to wrap things up. So we'll have 3 minutes and talk about more things. Anything else you guys want to talk about just before?
I feel like what you just said with like environment and growing up, I feel like school is sort of like probably one of the biggest factors when it comes to like body dysmorphia and like all those sorts of things when it comes to addressing the way you like sort of look at yourself, I guess. And
Okay.
And we're back. Good. Great. What are we talking about?
Last thing, if I remember, we're talking about body image. Well, you're not.
It's almost like it's a title. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, literally, it's crazy.
Did
I know the title? Whoa!
Sounds like this.
Whoever's the editor, whoa!
Something I want to talk about is, because we were talking about earlier about like accepting that your body isn't perfect and stuff like that. But I think also with creating positive conversation around body image, it's about changing the definition of perfect, because obviously the definition of like the perfect body has changed throughout history, like for different reasons. Like in some centuries, like being fat was the body image because that meant that you were rich and you can afford to eat lots of food. And now it's skinny. Don't know how it went to skinny, but it went to skinny somehow. And like it kind of fluctuates and it goes back. And people are saying like, oh yeah, now the trend's gonna go back to like being plus size and being hourglass, and it's gonna like sway around. But it doesn't need to do all of that. Like I think the idea of having a standard is just like a competition to have like, this is like the perfect human.
It's almost like a trend.
Yeah.
I hate trends. I'm
like other girls.
I'm like other girls. They don't listen to trends. But yeah, I completely agree with you with talking about how like it always goes back to the media and how we all follow trends. And like you said, like literally back in the day, if you were fat, whoa, you got bands, you got money, you actually got everything. But then now it's just like, okay.
Like old paintings, they were all like fat and naked. And they were chilling, they were living their best life.
Living the best life. Painting, old paintings, love them. I think they're the funniest thing ever.
Paintings.
I saw this one painting, it was like, okay, it's in the National Gallery Museum, and it's this guy, right? And he's like, okay, okay, let me try to describe this correct. He wanted a boat in his painting, but then it was in water, right? And like a boat can't just stay still in it. So he has a painting of him behind a mountain. No, he's in front of the mountain, and then there's like a boat right next to it, but it looks so odd. Like you could tell it's two different paintings. It's the funniest thing. If you go to the National Gallery Museum, it's gonna be there. Like it's the
So after
thing.
this, I need to go to the
after this
immediately.
You
I
need
need
to
to go
go
on
there.
Google and search man in front of mountain with a boat.
Yeah, but it's a perfect image. But let's talk about more about the body image in men.
Yes,
Jed.
Well, I think if we're gonna like stereotype it, I guess, women are just supposed to be like skinny, and then men are supposed to be like muscular, which I think which still applies today. And it's like I don't know. It's like, who the fuck wants to spend hours in the gym for what?
Yeah.
Seems almost exhausting. Like,
Gym's giving me social anxiety, big
oh my
bro.
gosh, same. Oh my gosh, I'm so
can't
glad
do
we're
it.
talking about it.
I can't
I
do
hate. No, gym gives me so much anxiety.
I was like, if I want to
I know
go gym, I
actually.
have to have someone to go to the gym with me every single time I go. So I'm not going alone. What are you talking about? I'm going to gym alone. Are you silly? Not in London.
Oh, one thing I do want to talk about. So sorry, but the LGBTQ community and the body image with the trans community. None of us here are trans, so I can't really talk for any of us. Oh, no, I can't really talk for any of us. So when talking about the trans community, I've heard that there's been so much body dysmorphia applied there, as well as body image within that community. And I did this sweet research on thing. Oh, I'm stuttering. Ew, let me download gravity into my head. Okay. I did this research, and it was talking about in the UK, 1 out of 1,000 people have body dysmorphia.
Did you fill in that survey?
Capri Sun. That's
Corny.
literal. That's corny. That's literal lies. Boo.
That's lies.
Tomatoes.
All these statistics come. I've not filled in a
Came out.
single form
Came
for
out
any of these.
in 2018, and I think that's the biggest
That's a
lie.
lie. That's a big lie.
It's a big
That's
lie.
a big boy. Who are they asking?
Conspiracy theories.
Who are they asking?
Who
I
are
don't
they
know.
asking?
I don't know. Where's the submission page? Like, where's this like
Where
questionnaire?
can we fill these out?
Wait,
Yeah.
Can we update these?
Can we
'Cause
update
who's
these?
doing the
We
research?
should
They're not
do
doing their
one.
job. They're actually not doing their job.
No.
I
That's a
think
lie.
they're just like type it in.
Just
like,
guessing, they're just putting in any numbers.
type it in.
Just typing
Just-
anything.
Yeah, little journalist was like, "Yep, that seems
Yeah,
right." I never found.
let me put-
I know like 5 people. They don't.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, going back to the gym and like how you have to be muscular and all of that, and it's like especially looking at men that I know personally, all my brothers, like they're all quite muscular. You know, like one of my brothers is very like henchman, like you know, because he hits the gym a lot. But one of my other brothers, he's like not thin, but he's like muscular thin. If you get what I'm saying. So it's lean. Lean. I'm not thinking about the drink. Lean.
That's the word. Lean.
Yeah, lean.
Why do you say like lean? Don't drink lean, guys.
Don't drink lean, guys. I heard it does mad things to you, but he's lean, right? So it's like I'm seeing not a lot of different body images, but like ones that are kind of similar to like the ideal image, like you said, a muscular type of man.
Yeah.
You know? So what would you say would be like, I'm not trying to say that you need to break down the whole image, a body image. I'm not giving you that job, don't worry. But it's like, what would create a safer space for body image in men? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Big question. I know.
This is a big
Put you on the
question.
spot.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
responsibility.
Go on.
What if you
answer it
say
now.
they're gonna do it like
Yeah.
right now?
I think it goes. If I'm being honest, I think it just goes back to like, just discussion. But then I feel like that's a whole issue on its own with
Yeah.
men and talking about their feelings and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like you would have to start there and then work your way up.
Yeah.
Because it all with like toxic masculinity,
Mhm.
it does like root all the way back to
Yeah.
like.
Do you want
men.
us to talk about toxic masculinity?
Yeah.
Favorite topic to talk about? Woo. Do you want to talk about it? Go on. You can say anything about it. How it's bad.
Toxic-
terrifying.
Toxic
It's
masculinity is bad, guys.
Yeah.
Tomatoes. Boo.
That's the end of the episode. That's
That's the whole episode.
Yeah, that's the whole episode.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, bad vibes.
Yeah.
Horrible thing. And it's like, it feeds into, like you're saying, you're unable to talk about how everyone is feeling within themselves and how, like, with their images of how they are as a human being, you know. So it's just like you said, create a space. Because I think, like, having a space is the most important thing. It really brings out, like, the things that are inside of everyone, you know. Like, having the opportunity, like, especially for us to have this podcast is, like, such a big thing. Personally, for me, I think it's such a big thing because I've been able to actually address issues that I've gone through personally, as well as, like, my friends who don't want to talk about, like, who don't feel comfortable talking about it, but allow me to talk about it for them. You know, big up my friends. You know, tell me their stories and tell me to talk about it. You know, all love to you guys. You know,
Shout out to Tyla.
Shout out to Tyla. Shout out to maybe Kimi. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Chantelle. Shout out to Bella Soares. Woo!
I thought only Bella got the last name.
I was the only man.
Yeah, because Kimi's But back to the topic. Oh, some good people. Oh no, I've heard some things with body dysmorphia. Some people replace their meals with pills. Ooh. Have you guys heard about that at all?
No. I mean, I know, like, with...
I've heard about, like, supplementary
supplements
stuff.
and that sort of stuff, but never replacing.
Yeah, no, because there's some people who, like, tend to do that a lot because due to, like, body image, and it's like with the whole idea of, like, okay, I need to look like this image and things like that. So people will start to put, like, have bare pills, as well as with talking about skin, people will start doing, like, these concoctions and make these potions and things to put all over their faces and things like that to create this, like, ideal look of them. To talk about body image, we could talk about also the different ideal standards in different countries and different places. So, like, with, like, in a lot of Asian communities, I can't talk too much for the Asian community, but what I do know of it is that they do really like lighter toned skins and having that fair skin and being very thin, and how, like, I've seen there's some people who I follow on social media that they would go to these Asian places and be considered fat, but then if they go back to, like, Western countries, they'll be considered very thin and things like that. And it's like, it's so crazy how there's different body standards in different places.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the idea of perfect doesn't exist because it depends the time period, it depends the place, it depends the people around you. Like, all of those things are, like, different factors. Like you were saying, people say that the beauty standards, like, specifically, like, in East Asia, like, people talk about, like, the K-pop industry, the standards are very different to standards in, like, America and, like, the UK and stuff. Like, we think, you know, so we see everything on social media, we kind of like, yeah, you know, fair skin, like, skinny, but, like, different countries really have, like, the, you know, they're very specific. And I guess that all goes back to, like, culture.
Yeah.
Because I think in the past, your body was a reflection of, like, how you were treated. Like we were saying earlier, with, like, being fat meant that, like, you were rich and you could, like, afford a lot of food. So I think it goes back to how people perceived those bodies in terms of, like, your status and stuff.
I feel like, we could also address. I feel like I'm bringing up these ideas right now.
Bringing all these,
guys, I'm not
whipping
bringing up
these
these
out.
ideas. I have my iPad in my hands. I'm not gonna lie. What's it called?
You're fraud.
Oh, clothing. Clothing is a topic that we could also talk about, and how, like, talking to one of my friends, Jessica. Whoa, Jessica, if you watch this, shout out to Jessica. Whoa.
She doesn't watch it.
They were talking to me about how, with a lot of different fashion trends and things like that, there's some that don't really tender to the plus size community, you know, and things like that. And as well as talking to my friend Tyla, whoa. She was talking about how jeans, you know, jeans, not a big fan of them, but
unfortunately, I
jeans
do know jeans.
You do. Jeans, it's like, okay, some of the clothings of them, they won't be consistent with the size. Okay, so let's say it will be a big size, but then the length of it will be, like, hella short and scrawny.
Oh yeah.
Clothes are so weird.
Clothes are weird.
I hate shopping for clothes.
Same.
Really?
I
Okay.
hate it as well.
Worse.
Where do you shop, guys? Ray, go.
People are gonna beat me up because they're gonna be like, ew, fast fashion. But guys, I'm poor. I can't afford the vintage. I can't afford it. I'm sorry, guys. I live in North London. I can't go thrift shopping. Sorry.
Yeah.
I shop at ASOS.
ASOS is a big one for everyone, I think.
I don't shop at ASOS. Oh no.
You go thrifting.
But ASOS, anything else?
Just went ASOS. I went H&M yesterday. Yeah.
Those are the basic. What about you, Jed?
I would say literally just everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'd-
Ooh.
I would go.
See him at Selfridges, guys. Wow.
Not those kind of places, though, but like, I'm very picky when it comes to clothing. So yeah, I just to even find like one thing, it would take me ages, and it's for that to fit as well.
Yeah. Same. I'm very specific with.
I feel like it is an issue with like maybe people who are a lot thinner as well. That like maybe everything just looks big on you. Even if you get like extra small sizes, that would just like end up not even
fitting you
properly,
either as well.
And some brands don't, like you were saying, like with brands, some brands won't cater. They cater their size to the people with the body type that they think fits their aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like what people forget about, like, for example, we're like, oh yeah, why can't like all brands just like have fully inclusive sizing? I don't think, at least in like the next couple, like 20 years or something, that most companies will do that, because the whole point of like there being different clothing stores is they all have their own like aesthetic. They have their brand, and they make clothes for the body types that they feel like fit their brand. And when you look at like clothes, they're not selling you clothes, they're selling you a lifestyle. And that's why they have like models. Oh my God, guys. I'm like saying big words.
Selling you a lifestyle? Someone quote that.
When you like, when you look at like, if you like, for example, ASOS. I'm on ASOS like a lot. When you look at the models for the different like styles of clothing, they have different types of models, if that makes sense. Like they have, whenever they're selling you clothes, they don't just show you a picture of the jeans, they show you like how you can style it, where you could be. Like the background might not even be like a plain white background. It might be like them at like, I don't know, the fucking coffee shop.
like sparkles.
Yeah, with like
a
sparkles. It shows you like their glasses, they're like, ooh, they're like closing. Because they want you to buy the jeans and they want you to buy everything else. Because they want you to be like, oh yeah, you buy this and you're gonna look exactly like this. You know what I mean? So they're trying to sell you essentially like the model, if that makes sense. Like they're trying to sell you like kind of like the vibe of how the model looks. And that's why people buy stuff and then get disappointed if it doesn't fit on them, how it fit on the model. Because they weren't selling you the clothing, they were selling you like the idea, if that makes sense.
Of how it could look on you.
Exactly.
Things like that.
That's why I hate shopping.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think, as you heard before, I do thrift. But not big time thrifting, guys. Like right now,
it's
like
big time thrifting.
It's not big time thrifting.
It's big.
My dad's a reseller.
Thrift guys.
Thrifting is good, you know.
Yeah.
It's decent, you know. It's reusable. It's good for environment. Come on, guys. Exactly. Yeah. Like, okay, for me, I like to mostly shop at H&M. You know, maybe online shopping. I'm sorry, guys. Next day delivery, 100%. You know, like
Next day delivery.
Oh, no,
Shout out to whoever invented next day
whoever
delivery.
invented that.
Shout out.
Whoever's packaging my things at 12 a.m. Pick you up, man.
I'm a bad boy piece with that. Because honestly, oh my
But
God.
thrifting, guys, you know, thrifting is good. I do that time to time. Kimi's giving me the death stare. I'm so sorry, guys. Recently, I bought these jogger bottoms and I just want them already, you know? I'm sorry. But yeah, personally, I think for me, when it comes to me for shopping, I think I struggle the most with because I'm like relatively tall, I guess. So then when it comes to like...
You're a mammoth.
Yeah, Ray, you're fired. So for me, I'm quite like a bit tall. So then when it comes to shopping for me, I'll be like, okay, oh, I like the size of this jeans, you know, but also because I'm quite skinny, so it'll be like, okay, the waist fits me, but then the length is like, yo, why is it on my knees? Nah, like I've bought some jeans that are pretty mad, like they don't fit me.
They were shorts.
They're shorts. I don't even like shorts. Oh. Bye, Bella.
Our sound
team is leaving.
One of our sound team is leaving. Shout out to Chantelle.
Big up Chantelle.
Big up Chantelle. Boo, Bella.
But I think I'll struggle the most with finding art because I have like basketball arms in it. So I'll find struggling with
basketball.
Yeah, you don't get it. You're not a part of the community. You don't get it. Okay. Girls that get it. The girls that don't, you know. So I'll tend to buy a lot of my hoodies from the men's section because I have this thing with that. With the women's, they make all women's clothing very petite and well fitted and things like that. And it's like sometimes if you're not, like I'm really not comfortable with clothes that are tightly fit. So I tend to not shop at the women's section because all the clothings are short and tightly fit and trying to what's it called, curve your body and
a lot of the hoodies
enhance
are like
it.
cropped as well.
Yeah,
and the material
all of them are
is so
cropped, you know,
thin.
No, like baby thin.
It's so
like it's
thin.
actually winter time, guys. Like I can't wear
Like,
this.
guys,
I can't wear this.
It's like 3 degrees.
It's
What
actually-
are you talking
it's zero.
about?
It's
And there's no
literally
earmuffs in the stores. We don't have time to talk about that. It's so disappointing.
Jed, you know there's no earmuffs.
Like, we went to Oxford Street, went to like so many different stores. There were no, we did TK Maxx.
No
There was no
earmuffs.
earmuffs.
There's no earmuffs.
These are the important things.
That's not the issue.
We don't have time. Another
Yeah,
episode.
I'm sorry.
Another episode.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Oh my
they're
gosh! The
literally
mannequins! Oh my gosh! Thank
Yeah.
you, Lily. Yeah.
We have mannequins literally in the corridor.
We have
right
so
there.
around our
In the
school, around LSA, we have mannequins
What's up,
around
guys?
there,
We're the
which is
plus-size
kind of
mannequins.
terrifying. But all mannequins have this one specific size. All of them like this one ideal size, and it also plays a part of what Ray was talking about. How what's it called? When selling you clothes, they also sell you the lifestyle and how the image of the person looks like. So when looking at like mannequins and seeing the clothes and things like that, you're like, it's kind of like the same thing with shopping online. It's like they're selling you that lifestyle. Okay, you need to look like this. Babes is wearing a beanie with a fringe, and you need to have some cute little boots and this tiny little skirt and like all this. But it's like, if I don't look at like exactly like said thing, how am I going to like love myself? How am I going to look like this said thing that I want to be? And it's like, we shouldn't be trying to create this, not persona, like this ideal like version of ourselves. We should just try to be the best version of ourselves. You know, if that makes sense.
Period.
Yeah. But anything else you guys want to add? Come on, guys. Body image.
Thinking.
Thinking.
Something like literally just like, you know when you like a thought is on like the edge of your brain.
Yep.
It just like flew away.
Flies
bro.
away.
It's going back to this just came in my brain right now. The other thing is gone. R.I.P.
Oh.
But going back to what you were talking earlier, obviously like I can't talk for like the trans community, but like reiterating things I've seen from what other people have said online is that kind of like for specifically like for trans women or trans femme people, the expectations for them is to like be cis passing or like to look like as like feminine as possible. Like if not, they won't be like accepted. Like you see all the popular like trans women like online and stuff are the ones that like you would think are like, oh, I didn't even know you were trans. And people like say that like it's like a compliment. And it's weird. Don't ever tell someone that. If you know a trans person, never tell them that. Please. They won't be you up, but I will. I will be there. But it's just the idea of even when you don't fit like the specific stereotype, you still kind of have to force yourself in to be accepted into that. And it's just like, it's just so toxic.
Yeah. I feel like, I would like to address body image in films. When talking about, well, I can't really speak too much, but with men and their image and how you're talking about how it's very masculine, like very big.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a fun example, but
Masculine, pretty
Glee.
big.
Have you guys watched Glee? Has
No.
anyone watched Glee?
I've watched a bit. I've watched it.
There's some people behind.
3 people
who watch
in
Glee.
the production have
So
raised their hands.
there's a bully in Glee, like season 1, 2-ish. You know,
Yeah,
we
I
found out
don't
he's
remember that.
gay. It was so obvious. You know, when someone reeks of masculinity, like they reek of it, and it's just like, what are you hiding? You know,
You're gay.
you're gay. Find out he's gay. But it was like the way he was like he's this big, strong man, you know, and he plays this jock. He's this muscular man, like playing about how you said that. What's it called? With men and their body image, they have to be very strong and go to the gym and things like that. And he was a football player, so it's like it plays a part of that ideal lifestyle of like you need to be big, strong, gotta work out, you know, you gotta hit the gym, do that lifestyle. Like no. And then a very recent TV show when talking about body image in women is Euphoria. And Kat. I'm not gonna have my opinions for Euphoria the show. I love the show. But with Kat, a lot of people they have very mixed opinions about Kat, but I think it's just because of the character, not the body image or things like that. But my friend, shout out Millie. I don't know if I already shout out Millie, but shout out Millie. Millie was talking about how in this high school world, there's only one plus size person. in the TV show,
Yeah.
and they're like one of the main characters. And it's like it's quite odd that you don't even see like plus size people in the background of the TV show.
Yeah.
You just roam around and it's just like, okay, no one's there. Like sex education. Was there anyone that was really plus size there? If I can remember right now, I can't.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
There's a lot
no.
of like different types of people you don't see in film, and it's
exactly.
like
There was one.
there was one.
There was
There was
one.
one.
There was
Think about that.
The swimmer guy's friend.
the swimmer guy's friend. Are you talking about Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson's friend.
Jackson's friend.
Yeah.
Who is Jackson's friend?
Jackson was so popular.
Jackson. Okay, we're gonna get our search team to find out.
Editor,
Jackson's
if you can
friend.
find it, please put it up on the screen.
The editor's like shouting it at the screen.
He's like, I can't find one.
But
I-
yeah, no,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh, I think with what you said about representation in film and TV, I don't think there's hardly anything
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I feel like they
It's
just zoom past it.
Give
Like,
us
body
something.
woo.
They're just like, here's the best looking people we could like.
Yes, yes,
and then
yes.
like here they are.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And literally yesterday, I had a masterclass
mhm,
and it was a costume supervisor,
mhm.
and he was talking about like, I get it's like superheroes and they're supposed to look strong and like perfect, but like even with the actors that he said they don't look like that when they're on screen. With like they put them in like bodysuits and stuff and all that sort of stuff
Yeah.
underneath to give them like the perfect
Yeah,
body.
the perfect body. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Especially with superheroes. Superheroes is like they're meant to be like the biggest human. Oh, what was her name?
Production is showing us. a video-
Production is
picture.
showing us Jackson's friend. It was our black queen. What was her name? Ruth.
She was
What
great.
was her
No
name?
one remembers her name.
She was great. What's her name, guys?
What's her name?
What was her name? Do you remember?
Was it Vivian? Vivian.
Big
Vivian.
what?
Yep.
Vivian.
Shout out
Big
to
up
Vivian.
Vivian. But yeah,
She deserved
again,
better.
guys, a singular person who is plus size.
That's not real.
Is that real
Not
life?
realistic.
That's not real
You tell
life.
me.
It's like
Like-
shows when they have like one gay character. It's like,
The one gay character. Yeah.
Like, just for the sake of inclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Our
is that, like,
friendship group has like one straight person.
One, we have
It's
one.
like
We
complete
have
op-
one straight person in our friendship group.
Like, you're telling me in the whole school there's one gay person, like, and that there's like another gay character, but like they never interact, like ever.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's weird.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
suspicious.
exactly. But
Yeah, representation in film. is-
representation of films,
yeah.
not too good. Exactly how we're talking about how they
Yeah.
immediately just go past it and that they don't address it at all as a whole thing, and they just think,
Literally.
okay, like you said, we're gonna get the most prettiest people in here and slap them on the screen, especially with Euphoria. Yo, the Euphoria cast, gorgeous,
Yo.
gorgeous people, but it's like, are they real though? And also, come on, guys, their skin's a bit too perfect for my life. Bit too
For
clean.
teenagers.
To teenagers.
With all the running around
Well,
they've
they're,
been doing.
running- they're meant to be like, what,
I don't think
17,
so.
18?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But sometimes it's so funny. Like I rewatched. I talked about this earlier. I rewatched Teen Wolf because I like watching old bad TV shows. It's literally what I do for comfort. Instead of starting a new show, I'll just go back and watch like old shows. Like I'm gonna watch Pretty Little Liars. It's the best thing. I love it. I was like watching Teen Wolf and I was thinking about it. I was like, there's like one main character that's black. And then they cut, like after season 3, you don't see my man again. And they don't even give him a backstory. Like he knows about like werewolves,
Yeah.
but they don't explain how. He just does. And then
Yeah.
he helps the white protagonist like to solve his problems, but they don't elaborate on his backstory.
Mhm.
And they had one Asian character in for one season, cut off her story, took her out.
Yeah.
Like they just sent her off to like do like something in like the desert or something, and they're doing a reboot, like a movie I think for Teen Wolf, and they're not bringing her back. Very rude, very disrespectful, because her character was like the most powerful or something. But I remember I was looking in the background, I was like, there's lots. It's not like they can't find black actors because there's lots of black people in the background.
yeah.
They even had like a character would pop in every now and then to like gossip. So that just showed me that they're like, listen, we could have black main characters if we wanted to. We just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have so many black people in the background and we're going to use them as like throw off characters and like kill them
Yeah.
off, but we won't have a main one and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm like, safe. Fair enough.
Like
Fair
recently,
enough.
there was this movie we watched, and it was called Pride, and I was counting
Oh, yeah.
the POCs. Defo could tell you the amount with like literally the 10 fingers I have in my hand, but I'm not going to. We're going to talk about body image, guys. But like, even though talking about race, it's like we're talking about how like people will add like, okay, they'll add race and sexuality and body image and be like, yeah, we're friendly and we love every human being in the world.
We're inclusive.
We're
It's just
inclusive.
one. It's just one.
It's just one, and you're hanging on it to a thread. You're literally like, yeah.
And like their default,
Yeah.
like the default, like the protagonist you're meant to relate to is always like that default character,
Yes.
like a scrawny, like we talk about sex. We talk about sex education so
Yeah.
much on this podcast. You would think we hate it.
No,
You would actually think we
enjoyed
despise that
sex
show. But we'll talk about Otis and we're like, he did not deserve to be the main character.
He did not. It's like, it's
No.
What did
crazy.
he bring to the table?
No, it's crazy because it's like you'll
Honestly.
enjoy those what's it called, inclusive characters more than the actual protagonist. In
Yeah.
some sort of
He just lives in a
way.
big house and he has.
Please, let's not talk about
Like-
sex education. But guys, we're coming almost near to the end. Anything you wanna finally say?
Oh, what? Just like topic wise?
Yeah, topic wise,
Yeah.
very quickly. if you
Little
can.
Oh, I was gonna mention how like even big names and
Mhm.
like major celebrities and models, even they're probably insecure about.
Yeah,
Like,
no, 100%.
Do you see thing of people like body shaming Zac Efron? Like, oh yeah, Zac Efron, his dad bod or something like that. It happened a bit ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But they were like comparing to him to like when he was in like high school
high
musical.
school.
And it was like, guys.
Guys, yeah, no,
It's been a while
exactly.
since High School
been-
Musical.
It's been some time.
Yeah.
It's been some time.
Yeah, even like celebrities have to make
yeah,
up.
no, exactly.
Because as much as like, oh,
exactly.
celebrities, there was like people in it. So like
Mm.
they get slewed online
Yeah,
for like how
no.
they look.
Like I saw this one thing about what's her name? She's from You. She plays Love, and she was talking about
Victoria Pedretti. I think her last name is
Yes.
Pedretti. Victoria Pedretti, yeah.
and she was talking about her body image as well. And it's like,
I
okay,
love
we
her
see all these
interviews.
celebrities and things like that, and we kind of try to like, what's it called? I don't know, separate them from us as the society and celebrities and things like that, when really we're all just humans as a human being together.
Yeah.
And we should all simply love each other.
Live,
and
laugh, love,
Live,
guys.
Live, laugh, love, you know. And that's the end of today's episode.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for watching. And a cut. Woo!